All right. Thank you. The regular meeting of the South Colony Board of Education is now called to order. Roll call, Thomas Blakely.
Here.
Brian Casey.
Here.
Stephanie Cohen here. Vincent Forenzo.
Here.
Rose Gigliello.
Here.
Jennifer Houlihan.
Here.
Michael Keane just informed me as a personal matter, he won't be able to make it. David Keel is also excused. Did he say he was missing this one?
Yes, you did.
He did a long time ago, I had a note, yeah.
Yeah.
But then I started questioning if it was this one or the next
This
one,
one or the
so I
next
left
one.
the seat just in case.
All right, thank you. Christopher Larrabee.
Here.
And Robert Music.
Here.
All right, thank you. Let's stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, agenda item number 3, we'll be looking at the regular minutes of our last board meeting, which was August 12th, 2025. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to approve. Mr. Blakely, second. Mr. Larrabee, I feel there's a wide gulch between us tonight. All right, on the motion made by Mr. Blakely, seconded by Mr. Larrabee, that the minutes of the regular meeting of August 12th, 2025 be approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Agenda item number 4, superintendent update. Dr. Perry, that is you.
So we've got a number of presentations related to safe schools and our policy updates and things like that. So I'll be brief. Just wanted to let everyone know we are looking forward to welcoming our students back on September 4th. We still have construction going on. We will work through those challenges and things like that. But really, the best thing about the turn of the colder weather coming is when we start to see our kids again and those activities that are going on. So we've had a few athletic events going on. We got kids back on campus, starting to hear the cheer of the crowd and things like that. So really looking forward to welcoming our students and staff back. Our staff come back on Tuesday and our students come back on Thursday. So looking forward to a good year, and we'll continue to work through those logistical bumps in the road. But we do have an awful lot of good things going on. We just earlier heard a little bit from Mr. Burrell, the high school principal, about things that they're looking forward to. We got new pathways going on for students to take additional coursework as they start to progress up the high school level. In the middle school level, we continue looking at interventions and opportunities for kids to get involved with clubs and activities. And at the elementary level, we're coming off just some wonderful summer programs with reading and math and just good experiences for our students. So thank you to our staff who put in that time throughout the summer to help our kids to make those gains, and look forward to having everybody back next week.
Thank you very much. Agenda item number 5, new business. Any board member? Mr. Blakely.
We had the opportunity last week to tour Shaker Road and the high school and view some of the construction. Really exciting to see some of the updates at the high school. Shaker Road is in construction and it looks like it, but it's on its way. The updates just look awesome. As a alumni, it looked the same back in 2000 as it did in 2015, for example. And now it actually looks like a new building in a new school, and it's really fun to see. I'm excited for the kids to get in there and see it. We got to see Vincent giving tours, which was great. So thank you, Vincent. But yeah, I'm excited for all the kids to get in their spaces and be able to experience what we're building for you guys. So it's exciting.
Thank you very much. Ms.
I
Gigliello.
just want to follow up to that because I got to go on the tours too, and it is great. I just want everyone to remember, because I've been hearing rumblings. It's construction. It's messy. In a couple of months, everyone will be so happy with the results, and just to keep that in mind. And not I can't believe the buildings aren't ready. I can't believe this. I can't believe that. That's all.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work.
But come November, it's gonna be incredible.
It'll be good. It'll be good. Thank you very much. Mr. Larrabee.
I was able to head over to the freshman orientation. talking with, and I know Tom's on board with this, love to see this become a mandatory thing for all
Yes,
freshmen
we
at
would.
some way or another, tie in with the seal of civic readiness, all stuff like that going forward. But thank you to Krista Misek, and the whole staff that was at it, and Vincent, great job, with you and your team. Awesome job. I did see on another, point, I saw that Albany has turned back on their speed traps around schools. So this is my little
They
speed,
didn't turn them on.
well, I don't know.
They weren't on.
No, they weren't off.
Well, that's what the media. you
They
know,
went back
you
down
believe
to
what you
20
believe there,
miles an
but,
hour, which is,
we're just, this is my, little platform to
yes,
say, slow down,
slow down.
teachers, parents, kids. You're gonna get there. You're gonna get there one way or another. The first few weeks is gonna be slow and going, but, just slow down on the roads. And, for all those that aren't in our district, slow down too.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Larrabee. Mr. Masick.
I had the opportunity to hit part one of the freshman orientation on
Mhm.
Friday. Went down to the Albany Housing Coalition for Veterans House
Nice.
and also saw Vincent there doing a great job with the eye care group and then about 45 freshmen. They were cleaning outside, raking. I had a tour inside and kids were cleaning the stairs and the rooms and a bunch of group in our group are cooking cookies in there. So
Mhm.
it was great. And Tess McCarthy did a great job and
Mhm.
she deserves a lot of credit. And there's a lot of several chaperones. Mr. Burrow there, Mr. Hatt, Ms. Durant, Ms. Lewis. I know I'm gonna forget people, Ms. Motre, Mr. DeLello. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few more, Mr. Rosenswag, but it was a great event, great, so.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm glad they had the opportunity to do that. Very good. Thank you. Anyone else? Ms. Houlihan?
I did not get to attend the freshman orientation, but my son did, and he had a great time.
Good.
And he is somebody, he's a truth teller. And so he let me know that he had a really nice day and was excited to go. And so kudos to the staff, especially Mrs. Misek, and all of the folks who organized, the experience. I think it's a wonderful way, to introduce our freshmen to the, culture of service that is really one of the, I think, proudest things about our district.
Yes, that's true. Mr. Forenzo?
I got to attend all week, not only all of it. I got to tour around the kids and we answered questions and they were, every kid was so responsive and was so kind and actually acted like they wanted to be there, or at least put on that face. And they all week, everyone was so great. And when the day of service happened at the end of the week, everyone was so helpful. Every kid that was there put in their best effort. And thank you for all the board members and cabinet members that came that day and spoke and everything. And it was a great week. And I'm also looking forward for this program to continue and hopefully grow even more.
Very good. All right, thank you very much. Mr. Casey?
I'm back from vacation, internal battery is charged, I'm ready to go.
Thank you very much, Mr. Casey. We couldn't do it
And the
without
sun
you.
was great.
And the sun was great. All right. Very good. Thank you. I do want to make mention of one issue. As we heard yesterday, a 2023 alumni was in the news, and his act was so brave and such a sense of strong and strength and doing the right thing, and things went sideways. John, you are the bravest kid that I can even think of. Your community is so very proud of you. We're very, we send out a lot of our love to you and to your family. I knew Johnny when he was a little guy at Shaker Road. His mom, Amy, and I did school banking together. So a lot of thoughtfulness to your family. Johnny, make a full recovery. We're very, very proud of you. All right, thank you. All right, agenda item number 6, communications. We do have one request to address the board, and this is from Kimberly Felice. And you do want to talk about special education services. We do have to keep it general in nature. We don't normally have a discussion about a student or teachers or anything like that. Is that possible?
I can kind of,
Thank you. We can give you some leeway. Go right ahead, please.
okay. So first of all, this is my daughter, Shyla. She's been in the South County School District since kindergarten. So I'm a teacher at Averill Park, and I'm just here to express my concerns, with the services here at South Colony, and what's going to happen this year. She just went to an intensive therapy program in Buffalo, and she spent 6 months out there. It's a residential treatment facility. And the services, I'm concerned about the services in general with some of the comments and things that have happened with students, the transitioning, for a smooth transition. And I hate to, focus on her, but just general, like, I'm sure like the last board meeting, because I watched it, what had happened. And I just, like I said, I'm just concerned about the special ed services in general. I'm concerned that, it's not gonna be a smooth transition from her leaving a facility where it's one-to-one 24-hour care to where things are being pulled away out from under her. And that scares me as a teacher. And I'm very, very nervous because I'm going to work every day and she's going off to the high school. And I have great anxiety about her going up there. Because number one, she's a wanderer. I worry that she's going to wander in the high school if she gets out of anybody's sight. She wears a tracker because of that. She was caught one time wandering around St. Creek Middle School. And that's where my concerns come from with special ed in general. So I just wanna, address the fact that I'm concerned with the services seem to be pulling back because of understaffing. And if you need to have the staff, I understand there's fiscal constraints. I'm a teacher, we have the same in our district. But you can't take away the services from the kids, to meet the budget, okay? The state gives them money, okay? You gotta make them well-rounded kids coming out of here. What is gonna happen with them for the rest of their lives? You're meeting the needs of the top performers, you gotta meet the needs of these guys too. What's going to happen to them? And it's very, very frustrating to see that, things are being taken away from these kids. I really struggle with that, to hear that, kids are losing their services in general because there's no staff. Whether there's no staff certified or those, you just don't have the staff. If you don't have the staff, go recruit the staff. Make an active effort to recruit them. Because I know they're out there. It's just, you can't just post a position on OLAS and expect people to come. She was in EI. There's early intervention providers you can go out and seek. That's my concern. I just have great anxiety because I feel like we're reaching these kids up here. These kids are in the shortfall in general. So that's just my concern. I just have great anxiety to go away and, to work and then to send her to school.
Of course. All right. Thank you, Ms. Feliz. I really do appreciate that. Yes, our special education department is under a lot of scrutiny right now, and we're standing by it because we're only making it better. I appreciate you coming in and not only sharing your concerns, but some ideas as well. The two issues that were last meeting have been resolved, and everybody's happy. Now, the news media is not going to pick up on that, but, you know, I gotta tell you, our team at the high school is terrific. Our special ed team at the high school is terrific. They have dealt with other kids just like Shyla, and it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You have people to reach out to, her teachers, that's your first line, and
I
they
mean,
are very dedicated.
grateful, the teacher she's gonna have, she already had twice in
Oh,
first and
good.
second grade.
Good,
So I'm grateful for that. It doesn't make me any less anxiety when I go 30 minutes away.
right,
You know, it does create anxiety.
it does, but we're going to give this a try, and Shyla will step up, and the teachers will step up, and it will be good. I can tell you that.
Cause she loves school, you know.
We love that, yeah.
You know.
That's what we're here for. All right, very good. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye,
Thank you.
bye. Thank you. All right, and this is what the point where we usually have a large crowd. We say you're free to go, you're always free to go. But we continue on with the really important stuff, the really interesting stuff. And board committee reports, agenda item number 7. First up is the code of conduct. Did we have any further input to the code?
We've had some minor changes, mostly related to the cell phone restrictions and things like that. It's been reviewed at all levels by the principals and supervisors. So we are presenting the final reading for the adjustments for the 25-26 school year tonight.
All right. Does anyone have any questions on this? Hearing none, I'll take a motion. Mr. Mesick, second. Oh, Mr. Blakely. I'm sorry. On the motion made by Mr. Mesick, seconded by Mr. Blakely, that the above stated Code of Conduct Policy 5300 and the Code of Conduct Plain Language Summary, Policy 5300.1, for the 2025-2026 school year be adopted. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. 7B, South Colony District-wide School Safety Plan. Again, did we have any other additional input to this?
There were some required adjustments to the overall plan. Typically, at this meeting each year, I kind of run through a little quick update.
Please
on
do.
safe schools. But to quickly answer that question, we are responsible for developing a cardiac emergency response plan that has to be added to the school district's safety plan. So we have developed a draft version of that we can include with our emergency response plan as a district. We can hone it, tweak it, and then it formally has to be in place by January 2026. But the groundwork is done, and we'll get a chance to take a look at it and tweak it to meet our needs. But that was the only major change to the plan that we will be voting on and putting forward facing to the public.
All right.
So I think first and foremost, our safety, when it comes to the physical safety of a school, starts with our relationships with our first responders. We have a tremendous relationship with all of our first responders. We spend a lot of time training and bringing our first responders into our buildings so that they're comfortable, safe, and they know how to get around. This is just a visual of that partnership. Our objectives, these are the same every year, to look to reinforce how we do it may change every year, but look to reinforce the safe, both physically and emotionally secure and orderly school environment, maximize communication between and among staff, effectively communicate with parents and guardians. That's also took a step forward last year when the state required that whenever we do emergency drills that we notify families and students, reduce anxiety, so that students aren't put in a position where they feel like they're in the middle of something that is real, when it's not. Even though we may say this is a drill, not every student hears all the words all the time, so making sure that people knew in advance what was happening was a requirement that we followed suit. So communicating effectively, maintaining dialogue with in our schools and with our local responders. Maximize the collection of information and communication of any suspicious activity. That's the constant. If you see something, say something sort of approach, working with Henry, our community community engagement school safety coordinator, and just making sure our drills and anything that we do. I know Brian talked the other day about what they did at the bus garage when they were looking at what happens when someone comes onto your campus, who responds, how quickly does it take for someone to bring them forward, or do they get on your bus and walk around, those sort of things. Establish and maintain a comprehensive emergency response plan, which is what we're voting on and talking about today, to protect students and staff, both emergency and crisis situations. So we gotta practice those things, and we do that not only to meet the state requirements, but just to make sure that our staff and students, muscle memory is where it should be when these things happen. Our drills and safe school activities are designed to develop, reinforce practices, procedures, and protocols that reduce uncertainty, reinforce stability, increase control, and decrease anxiety. I'm going to go quickly because you guys have this attached to your stuff. These are the stakeholders that make up our groups. We have worked hard to make sure that we do have parent representatives on our committees. Sometimes the challenge becomes the time of day that we meet, but we do invite parents and try to get parents that can participate. They're important stakeholders, and it's good that we get their insight and they know what's going on. Some accomplishments in 24-25, we updated the plan, shared it as we're supposed to. The Raptor visitor system is implemented in all of our buildings now, so if you go to any elementary, middle, or high school, there should be a similar process. Yes, all our vestibules are a little bit different, so it may feel different, but there's a continuous or a consistent process to get into our buildings for our families and our visitors. Continued staff training, work with Henry and his continued efforts to enhance our school safety protocols. We have partnered, gentleman's agreement, we'll call it that, with a neighboring community school to be a reunification site. So now that we have that piece in place, we can start to look at something more official with that relationship, and then maybe drilling that down the road. We have tried for years unsuccessfully to find a partner. We've talked to many different locations that we thought would be a good fit, but for reasons that I understand, it's not an easy thing to accept. It will bring a lot of traffic and have severe implications for that organization. But we did find a partner, and we'll probably reciprocate with that organization as well to meet their needs. So that's certainly something that I'm excited about going into 25-26. We went through our first year of the workplace violence and prevention. That was a new program for 24-25. We made it through. The committee met several times to discuss and give feedback on the procedures and the outcomes of that process. We'll continue to work with that group, make tweaks, try to make it better. And we began to develop an emergency action plan for after hours. We'll continue to work on that. We are aware of what happened about maybe 11 months ago with Bethlehem and the situation that they experienced after school. So districts like ours are all kind of talking about the same thing. What does it look like without being overly prescriptive at the end of a school day, but having a procedure in place and a mechanism to communicate with our families, our students, and guests if something were to occur after hours. I mentioned the cardiac emergency response plan has been developed. We'll talk about it. Must be implemented by January 2026. Also, Jacqueline and I applied and received a grant through PERMA. So we have another $10,000 that we can spend on stealthware to help support our staff in classrooms and on buses to try to reduce injuries in the workplace. Moving forward, continue to revise the ERP, set up and provide annual training that was done through Vector. The state continues to add more training requirements. I mentioned earlier today to the leadership group, when I started in this position, which was only 6 years ago, we had just around 2 hours of mandatory training. I think we're probably pushing 3.5 to 4 hours of required online training or in-person training, however you choose to do it. It's a lot. It's a lot of time, but I try to get them up early. So if people want to knock them off on rainy days, not that we had that many, but work through them over the summer, it's always an option for our staff. We have built out our fob key access doors in many of our schools, and also starting to make those into the interiors of our buildings with the construction project as they go on new classrooms. We'll work on a reunification drill planning. I don't know if we'll get to a full implementation this year, but now that we have the partnership, we can look at a plan for a drill. And we're also looking at a new lock and key system district-wide. We started to have this conversation about 2-3 weeks ago, and we're looking at a tiered approach that will improve management and safety protocols with keys. Keys are gonna become our backup system when the swipers aren't working, but there's a tremendous number of keys and a tremendous number of people who have them. So we're looking to restart and take a little bit of ownership over our buildings and who can get in and how and when. Formal and informal safety assessments with Henry. We're also looking to, Dr. Perry mentioned this, I think in our last meeting, maybe look to enhance our services with the community engagement and school safety team. We'll also emphasis will continue to be on how to maintain safety standards while construction occurs. One building gets used to it, we add 2 more buildings over the summer that aren't used to it. So working with the staff, making sure they understand the policies and procedures that the workers go through to be vetted, to be in those buildings, and also working with our partners, with the construction companies to make sure people are following the requirements with badges and things like that. We just want to make people aware that we understand that they may have some concerns, we have them too, and there's a process to vet those. Mental health, cardiac awareness, physical safety have been placed in schools, continue to discuss these plans. Seems like every year there's another piece that gets added to the emergency response plans for the district. I'll continue to manage those and make sure that we're in compliance. This is where the public plan will be available. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the phased approach with the lock and keys? Is that we're like trying to collect keys, or are we just changing cores, or what?
There will be significant change, well, all of it. Well, I don't know about collecting, pretty much the ones will become obsolete when we go to the new system. So any old key would just, they will collect them and recycle them, but we will not necessarily need to do a collection. But when we establish the new system, you'll have, for lack of better terms, a grand master key that will get you in everywhere. We'll have rooms that are keyed, like the next level down, master, then the next level classroom. Like, so everyone will have the appropriate access that they need in the building. But there'll be one key that gets you.
We're also adding the key fobs to the classrooms we're renovating, so
Yeah,
at the high school alone, there's 40 classrooms now that have keyless access, so
Oh, great.
that's a great addition where you don't have to physically have your key, you've got the ID badge that gets you in there, we can control who comes, goes, and track that as well. So strategically, we've added more to the entrances and exit areas at all the buildings, but interior of those classroom spaces, we've done that. As Chris mentioned, the goal is to not have 6 different keys for the high school. We're trying to get down to 3 physical keys, a grandmaster, a master, and then a generalized room key. As you can see, Mr. Burrow has just the high school set of keys there, and that's quite a bit. So you can imagine Daniel or Gordon, who are doing the entire facilities, they've got a pocket full. So that's part of the transition. There's a cost with the changing the cores and things like that, but through the capital work, we're continuing to make.
I think there's 2 types of access that we're dealing with. External access to get into the building, which when managed with fob, with swipe cards, there's timestamps, there's entrance, you can get that data. When people are coming in different doors with keys, you don't really know who's in the building all the time unless you're following cameras. That's one side of access. The other side, and this is something that goes back to when I was the principal at high school and Tom and now Bill, I also want everybody in that building to have access to get into a safe place if something were to happen. And that was not always the case. That if you were a teacher of a particular department, you had access to that wing. And if you were visiting a neighbor on the other side of the school and something happened, your key didn't do anything for you. So we want full and appropriate access for our staff inside and make it very difficult for people to get inside without the right permissions.
We're working on a contract with the company, have that on a future agenda to set those cores. We have to have a contract with Medco. So, that'll come in the future agenda, that's a contract for the board to approve. Thank you.
Chris, I had the opportunity to read the entire report that was sent out, I think, today through Amber or yesterday. And kudos, everybody that worked on that. I mean, I'm sure there's a list of people, but it was comprehensive, it's extensive. I'm sure there's a few tweaks that you're gonna make as you move along, but it's very thorough. So nice job.
I appreciate that. I would say when I first had it, and Dave passed it on to me, it was probably 14 pages,
Yeah, it's grown.
and now it's 20-something, just with the new things that they've added with pandemic response
COVID
plans.
plans and.
Pandemic response plans, remote learning plans, cardiac emergency plans, workplace violence
So
prevention.
nice job on it.
We've been fortunate, the board has been, I would say, ahead of the curve in supporting safe schools in South County, and that partnership with the county police, EMS, emergency response services, fire, and going back to the beginning of my career, we had a safe schools committee that was active and has only continued to get better each year, so.
I would
Thank
urge
you.
the board members to sit and take a few minutes and read it. It's extensive, but it's,
Mhm.
you think, oh, I didn't think of
That's
that,
what we
or I
need.
didn't think of that. And, it's a very nice job.
The position
Yeah.
that Chris has and Henry Rosenzweig and our resource officers and our staff really goes a long way to making the plan a living document that we actually train on, which is important. And I think that's where we've made great strides as we're continuing to train on these protocols as opposed to just having them in a binder somewhere. So they become more active or, again, every year trying to look at ways to improve what's going on. And I think that's kudos to the folks
It's
involved.
interesting reading.
Well, if
You
you
don't
like
think
it
of
that
some of
much,
this stuff. No, thanks.
that's the public facing plan. The real plan is about 80 pages, which I'll send to you tomorrow. You can take a
War and
look at.
peace.
Should be able to get
Some of the
I don't think my computer can handle it, man.
We're gonna let Tom write that. It'll be 120 next year.
Whoa.
I got bullet points.
Bullet points, my bullet points have bullet points. All right, terrific. Any other questions? Hearing none, I'll take a motion. Ms. Gigliello, second. Ms. Houlihan. On the motion made by Ms. Gigliello, seconded by Ms. Houlihan, that the above stated South County district-wide school safety plan for the 2025-2026 school year be adopted. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. All right, agenda item number 7C, that is policy. Mr. Larrabee, take it away.
Okay, so this is, obviously, everybody knows this is a very hot topic, state mandate coming down that mobile devices in all of schools, UPK through 12, are gonna be, from bell to bell, be locked in lockers. Quickly, I did just want to bring up that, I asked my son on the way here if he did his recommended summer reading, which he hasn't yet. But I did let him know that while I'm gone tonight, he will be reading policy 5310, and we're gonna be having a quiz on it. You two also, Vincent. But it has been sent out multiple times to parents. Please take a look at it so they're aware. Students also. It's been sent out through Parent Square and everything like that. Does anybody have any other questions on policy 5310? Okay.
All right,
On behalf of the policy committee, upon the motion made by committee chair member Christopher Larrabee, recommendations that the revisions made to the above stated policies be approved as presented.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Thank you very much. All right, agenda item number 8, reports and recommendations for action. This is letters A through H, although C, the agreements have 15, count them, 15 entries here.
These are all very similar. They're IDA flow-through monies. We are the local educational agency that handles the federal monies that come through, and we're the go-between between each of these partners for those IDA ones.
Do we have any questions? Hearing none, I will take a motion. Mr. Blakely, Mr. Mesick. On the motion made by Mr. Blakely, seconded by Mr. Mesick, that the above stated reports and recommendations be approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Agenda item number 9, personnel instructions. This can be found on pages 13 to 15. All right, Mr. Robalotti, anything that you would like to say?
Yeah, we're, a few holes that popped up a little late that we're trying to fill here. So we welcome Robert and Emily. They're gonna start as soon as they can with us here in South Colony. But more importantly, I think I just wanna acknowledge Allison's retirement and just, congratulate her on her retirement, but also she's a great teacher and she's a great person, and she was waiting for some news that allowed this to happen, so we wish her the best.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Ms. Melanson. Are there any questions, comments?
I'd just like to say great job to Chris and the team for getting everybody up and running, and all of our new staff in South Colony at the point where we're ready to go. So, thanks.
It's always an interesting journey, isn't it? All right, any questions? Hearing none, I will take a motion. Mr. Casey, second, Ms. Gigliello. On the motion made by Mr. Casey, seconded by Ms. Gigliello, that the instruction personnel changes listed on the attached sheets dated August 26th, 2025 be approved. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Agenda item number 10, personnel support, 16 through 18. Again, Mr. Robalotti.
I'd like to congratulate Mark Fisher on his second retirement
Oh,
in the
yeah.
last few years, so congratulations to him. And I understand people, you get close, you think maybe by the end of the summer you're ready to go, and sometimes life just tells you it's time to retire. So we wish him the best. This is a good, from my perspective, my lens, a good support agenda. We have a lot more appointments than we have resignations, people leaving, break-in drivers, some things that we're really in need of. So good agenda, and we welcome all of the support staff that are coming on to help us get our classrooms and transportation moving. So thank you.
All right, yes, thank you very much. And definitely a shout out to Mr. Fisher. He has certainly made a difference in our district. Thank you very much. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, I'll take a motion. Mr. Blakely, second, Mr. Casey. On the motion made by Mr. Blakely, seconded by Mr. Casey, that the support personnel changes listed on the attached sheets dated August 26, 2025 be approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Agenda item number 11, professional development plan, Mr. Katchandurian.
Yes, thank you very much. So we have a responsibility to put forward a professional development plan. We as a committee were able to meet last week. Committee designated of 19 people, I believe 15 of us were able to gather and look at what existed as a professional development plan. And actually I had mentioned it to Mr. Backus as we had met last week as well. And he said, that thing that Mr. DeBoy made, which means this is a document that preceded Mr. Backus. So looking at it, there were some certain edits and a lot of information that I wanted to try and just sift through and understand my first time through looking at this document with brand new eyes. So I kind of put a 3-pronged approach to this. I looked at it from a stance of what do our neighbors do? So I looked at what others in the capital region, other school districts had to put forward something similar to this, and I did a cross-reference with that as a whole. Then I looked specifically at the New York State guidance and what are we responsible to do, and how can we, make sure that we put it in writing, but also put it through execution and make it available so that it is an attainable goal and document that we can work with our professional population. And then what does AI say? So I put it through 3 different versions of AI to see, with all the cross comparisons, where we were. And we weren't too far, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. But I will have you know, after I put my hands on this document, it is now shorter. So that might be a first time ever that has happened in my tenure of handling any documents.
Congratulations. That's great.
But as you saw from the Friday bulletin that Dr. Perry shared out, It's the document itself and the revision. So as we sat down as a committee, we went through all those different versions and iterations, and then it was the committee's eyes. So what are their experiences? What are the special perspectives that we invited them as being stakeholders that they can lend to conversationally? What do we need to make as far as changes? And then how do we continue to use this document to grow and improve our plans? So this document was looked at, and then it was kind of put away, and then it was looked at again. I want to look at it a little bit more, and hopefully it can be used to inform how we use some of our Title II funding moving forward, and how we use maybe some CRB funding moving forward, and how we look at the whole scale experience of what we want to do with district initiatives, and how we're providing that through this document and through the voices of those many perspectives that were able to congregate and kind of put forward their thoughts and vision of where we need to go. So there's a crosswalk that was connected in there that shows you the changes. So you can look at that. That's the abbreviated version, the Cliff Notes version of everything that we changed. And one of the big things, it's not a professional development plan anymore, it's a professional learning plan. So just minor things like that are still important, as well as big picture, big vision things that we're able to put in place and dialogue on. So us as a committee, I mean, we're looking to get back together again 2 more times. One is going to be in October once we get the school year started, and what are the things that we need and we should be talking about, and they're collaborating with their colleagues and other stakeholder voices. And then the other is going to be at the end of the year in May. And what are the things that we think we're going to be needing, and we're turning that corner, we're rounding into preparing our thoughts for next year, kind of on the end of preparing our thoughts for next year. And what are we going to try and actualize with the next iteration of what that document looks like for 26, 27. So the version is out there. Any questions, obviously, I'm here to answer them, but it's pretty good. There's not major changes, but we try to sift through and make it more reader-friendly, user-friendly, and we're going to continue to look to make improvements with that document.
Very good. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, I'll take a motion. Ms. Houlihan, second. Mr. Mason. On the motion made by Ms. Houlihan, seconded by Mr. Mason, that the above stated professional development plan be adopted, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Cachadorian, thank you for all your work on this and your teams. Appreciate it. Agenda item number 12, resolution, authorization for sole source procurement of News to You and unique learning systems from Everway. Dr. Perry,
Yes.
anything on that?
So we've been using these licenses in our special education self-contained classes for a number of years. We're expanding the use. News to You is a live feed program that allows for modern topics, but at a reading level that is supportive of our students in those programs. We're expanding that throughout all of our classrooms. So we've added additional licenses. The cost has exceeded our amount, so we brought it to the board. And it is also, these 2 programs are unique to this particular learning system. So it is a sole source provider of this unique license. So increasing the licenses to be able to provide that across the continuum of our services.
Very good. Any comments, questions? Hearing none, I'll take a motion. Ms. Gigliello, second. Mr. Larrabee. On the motion made by Ms. Gigliello, seconded by Mr. Larrabee, that the above stated resolution authorizing the purchase of News to You and unique learning systems license as a sole source procurement be adopted. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Agenda item number 13, future meetings. Here we go, guys. We kick it off into high gear now. Any questions on that? Is there any other business that needs to come before the board?
Can I say one thing, please? I forgot to mention that, thank you to Mr. Burrell and the other principals about the Parent Square welcome back email. I thought it was very well organized, and like anything, and I'm trying to say this to everybody, is that emails are only as good as if you read them. We all know we get a lot, but it has a lot of great information. I know all the other principals at the schools will send something similar out to their levels, both elementary and middle school, but thanks a lot to you and your team. A lot of good information. I looked through it and caught my eye on a few things, so thanks.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else? Good. Any executive session
There are no
items?
items tonight.
Not at this time. All right, everybody. Agenda item number 14, adjourn the meeting. Who wants to do that? Mr. Casey, second, please. Mr. Blakely. On the motion made by Mr. Casey, seconded by Mr. Blakely, that the regular meeting be adjourned. Time is 6:47. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Thank you very much, all.
We watched it online.
Okay.